The studio lights of the View were bright, almost blinding, as the audience settled into their seats with anticipation. It was another live broadcast day, but something about this episode felt different. The energy was sharper, more electric. Cameras slowly panned across the set, capturing the smiling co-hosts as they prepared to welcome one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Backstage, Michael B. Jordan adjusted his jacket, calm but focused. He had done countless interviews before, but live television always carried a different kind of pressure. He took a deep breath, reminding himself to stay composed no matter what direction the conversation took. His team gave him a final nod before the stage manager signaled it was time. As he stepped out, the audience erupted into applause. Michael smiled warmly, waved, and took his seat across from the panel. Joy Behar leaned forward with her signature confident expression, ready to begin. The conversation started smoothly. They talked about his latest film, his dedication to fitness, and the emotional depth he brought to his roles. Michael answered with charm and professionalism, engaging with each co-host respectfully. The audience laughed at his light jokes, and for a moment, everything felt balanced and controlled. Whoopi Goldberg asked about his journey from small roles to becoming one of the most recognized actors in the world. Michael spoke about discipline, rejection, and persistence. The tone was inspiring, and the crowd responded warmly. But then the conversation shifted. Joy Behar leaned in slightly, her tone changing. She brought up public criticism Michael had received in the past regarding Hollywood diversity debates and suggested that sometimes actors overreact to industry issues for attention. The atmosphere subtly tightened. Michael's smile faded just slightly, not in anger but in focus. He waited a moment before responding, choosing his words carefully. He explained that conversations about representation were not about attention, but about access, opportunity, and respect in the industry. His tone remained calm but firm. The audience grew quieter, sensing the shift. Joy interrupted lightly, saying that Hollywood had already made enough progress, and that people should stop making everything about race. A few audience members reacted audibly. Michael leaned forward slightly, maintaining eye contact. He replied that progress does not erase ongoing imbalance, and silence does not equal equality. His voice remained steady, but the weight of his words filled the studio. The co-hosts exchanged glances. Joy attempted to steer the moment into humor, saying the topic was being taken too seriously. But Michael did not laugh. He stayed composed. He responded that lived experiences cannot always be reduced to jokes or dismissed for comfort. The audience clapped softly, sensing authenticity in his words. The tension increased, but neither side raised their voice. Joy then referenced social media criticism, implying that online debates were exaggerated and that celebrities should just focus on acting. That was the turning point. Michael paused. The studio felt it. He calmly explained that actors are also human beings, and that speaking about real-world issues does not make them less professional. It actually reflects responsibility. His tone was controlled, but the message was unmistakably firm. Joy tried again to lighten the mood, smiling and saying, "Well, you know how sensitive things get these days." But Michael didn't shift. He responded respectfully but directly, stating that sensitivity is often what change looks like before it becomes accepted. The audience applauded louder this time. The energy in the room transformed completely. What started as a standard promotional interview now felt like a live, ideological clash unfolding in real time. Whoopi Goldberg stepped in, attempting to smooth the tension by redirecting the conversation back to his film career. Michael acknowledged her, grateful for the shift, and briefly returned to discussing his role and preparation process. For a moment, the studio relaxed again, but the earlier tension still lingered beneath the surface. Joy, not ready to fully let go of the topic, made one final remark, suggesting that Hollywood debates often become too dramatic for no reason. That was the moment everything snapped into focus again. Michael leaned back slightly, took a breath, and responded calmly but decisively. He said that what may appear as drama to some people is actually lived reality for others. He emphasized that dismissing those conversations only delays understanding. The tone was no longer conversational. It was final, grounded, and unshakable. The audience erupted into applause. Some clapped in support, Others reacted in surprise at the intensity of the moment. Joy Behar attempted to respond, but for the first time, the momentum had clearly shifted away from her. Michael remained composed, not aggressive, but completely firm in his stance. The studio felt it immediately. Control of the conversation had changed. Whoopi quickly stepped in again, thanking Michael and moving toward wrapping up the segment professionally. The other co-hosts followed her lead, sensing the need to de-escalate. Michael nodded respectfully, signaling no hostility. His demeanor stayed calm, but he no longer engaged further on the controversial topic. As the segment ended, applause filled the studio, strong, divided, and emotional. Backstage, producers moved quickly as cameras cut to commercial. The moment had already begun circulating in the minds of everyone present. It was the kind of live television exchange that would be replayed, analyzed, and debated for days. Joy remained seated, visibly composed, but less energetic than before. Whoopi and the other hosts transitioned smoothly into the next segment, maintaining professionalism despite the tension that had just unfolded. Michael, backstage now, exhaled slowly. His team approached him, but he remained calm. There was no anger in his expression, only clarity. He had said what he needed to say, and he stood by it. Within minutes, clips from the interview would begin spreading across social media. Some viewers would praise his composure and confidence. Others would debate whether the moment had gone too far for daytime television. But one thing was undeniable. It was no longer just an interview. It had become a live collision of perspectives, broadcast in real time, unfiltered and unforgettable. And in that moment, Michael B. Jordan didn't just answer questions. He shut down the tone of the conversation itself and left the studio with the entire audience still processing what they had just witnessed.